Welcome back to Craftsman David. Today we're going to be talking about vinyl coated wood. I really hadn't seen this before until I purchased and put up this swing set. I got this used off of Craigslist for my 3-year-old daughter. All of the boards are vinyl covered wood, just like this. This is a 2x4, it's actually a treated 2x4, but they place it in a skin of plastic, and that's to keep the water off of it, and it also means you don't ever have to refinish it. No matter how much the wood rots, it'll always look beautiful, it just won't be strong. Now all the boards on this playground had a little bit of rot, mainly the lag screws that hold everything together. I solved that by drilling and putting a bolt all the way through with a nut on the backside, and that really has made the whole swing set much more rigid. However, the floorboards I could not save. So if I show you this board, it practically turned into a sponge in there, and today we're going to be replacing these. I'm going to harvest the skins off of these old floorboards and put them on some new wood. So now with my old board clamped down, I'm going to cut the skin off with my Dremel Sawmax. I'm using the Sawmax because it's got an abrasive blade instead of a blade with teeth. When I started this, I used the circular saw and it made a terrible edge on the plastic. This cuts much more cleanly. I have it set just barely to cut through the skin. Now I can open it up, and oh boy, just like a dirty diaper, kind of the opposite of Christmas morning. This is a spongy piece of OSB board. I wish they would have used treated wood when they skinned them. The rest of the framing members of the swing set are treated lumber. Had this been a green treated board, no doubt this would have lasted a lot longer. What an icky pile of mush. Now, given how wet that board is, it's pretty wet underneath the skin, so I'm going to use a rag. I'm going to wipe up all the moisture. It does have kind of a bad smell to it, like sort of like sewage. I mean, it's definitely been decaying. Some of these boards have a cap on the end, I just pull it off. I do have to keep in mind which side is up and down. The top side has a texture to it where the kids actually walk. The bottom side is just smooth. And there they are. All of the boards are skinned and all the caps are removed. Well, due to COVID, all my lumberyard had were 16-foot deck boards, so I'm cutting them to length first so that they're easier to deal with. Well, I got 4 planks from each 16-foot deck board, and it's always good to do a reality check. This is the skins I cut off, and yep, it's about the same length. The little bit that protrudes through the end of the skin will be covered by the cap. This next board is very crooked and has terrible surface finish, but that's okay. I'm putting the plastic skins over it, and I'm cutting them short enough that a little bit of twist is not going to matter for a playground. Well, I have my new boards all cut to the right lengths, but they're actually a little bit too wide. These skins are a little bit less than a 2x6, so I need to thin these down. 5 1/4 inches is what fits inside of here. Also, these deck boards have round corners, and the skins are really pretty square on the inside. So I'm going to thin them by taking an 1/8 inch off of each side. That way I'll get rid of most of the roundness, and I'll thin the board at the same time. I'll do that at the table saw. There, it worked like a charm. The board is thinner and both radiuses are trimmed down. Now let's just try the fit. So I've been experimenting with different ways to attach the plastic to the wood. I have just a sample piece here. At first I thought I'd use my crown stapler, but the staples from this, it's too powerful. They go right through the plastic. I found that a regular staple gun holds a lot better. So I'm ready to assemble my plastic skins to my new boards, and I want to keep this side up. If you look at the end grain, the crown is up. That way, over time, if it does absorb moisture, it'll tend to make a sad face, and the middle will hump up. And that's good, because as water hits it then, it'll tend to shut off a little better. And now, as you might have predicted, because my new deck boards are thicker than the old 3/4 OSB that was in here, the plastic doesn't fit super well. So I'm just going to hold it as tight as I can and staple it down. Then I'll work my way down the board. Now installing the old end caps, I have the same problem. They won't go over my thicker board. So I'm going to use my snips and snip the bottom edge. Now with this bottom edge open, I can install them and staple the caps on. A little bit of plastic that hangs down, I'll trim off. And there you have it. Now notice I didn't put any staples up here because this is where the kids walk and I don't want their feet to catch staples. Well, all my boards are done and no finishing is required because it's plastic, so let's take them outside and put them on. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed today's episode looking at plastic covered wood. It sure is beautiful. You don't even know this board is rotten. Okay, don't go down the slide. Oh no, no, I'll have to stop you. I'll have to stop you. What's the verdict?
You're supposed to smile and laugh. Daddy's taking a video. He wants to see how much you like it.
Do you like it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it again.